Hey, this is Vicky Midwood. Hi, first time on Facebook Live. I don't know about you, but in lockdown, I'm trying all kinds of new things, especially technology that I've never used before. So apparently, I can do this on my laptop, but I can't do it on my phone. So we shall see what kind of quality it comes out as. So I just wanted to talk about the word association that I asked a question yesterday on my personal page and also in all sorts of little groups that I run on Facebook as well. So my Go Figure coaching group and my lifestyle is health group as well. And I just wanted to see what words people associate with the word diet. So as soon as I've said that, what popped into your head? I'd love to know just what you think as soon as you hear that word. I know for me, I definitely think deprivation, rules, hard. Yeah, that's what I think. But interestingly, there was quite a mixture of people who had different associations. So those came up, elimination came up. Also, the word Diet Coke. I love that. Somebody just put Coke, which was fantastic. So, but that is the association with that word. Others put health. Others put lifestyle. And then I had people put things like failure and misery. And these are the kind of words that we associate with something. And it's interesting, isn't it, that over the years, the whole meaning of the word diet has changed. Way back when, we used to think of the word diet as just being a way of eating, like a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet or a meat eating diet. It was just a way of eating. And that is really what the word means. But over the years, particularly, I would say, sort of since the 60s, 70s, and 80s, we've really now associated the word diet with weight loss or changing something about our physical appearance so that we can either lose weight or we can feel better about ourselves if we've got a health issue. For example, something like the AIP diet or the diabetes diet, those kinds of things. So we're always thinking about the word diet to do with some kind of rules, being able to eat certain things, not being able to eat other things. And this can kind of cause a problem when we kind of look at foods and the way that we eat in that way, because all of a sudden we start to have further associations, don't we, with certain foods within that diet. So we look at a healthy diet, for instance, and a lot of people tell me, oh yeah, I eat a healthy diet all the time, so I can't understand why I got this symptom, that symptom, or the other symptom. And here's the thing, there's no such thing as a healthy diet for everybody, because what is healthy for one person may have all kinds of effects on another person. An obvious example is if you are absolutely allergic to something. So like say you've got a peanut allergy, then okay, nuts in and of themselves are a great food. They're a brilliant source of natural fats. They're a great source of protein, all kinds of minerals that our cells need, particularly thinking selenium in Brazil nuts. So nuts are great unless you've got an allergy to them, in which case they're not going to be part of your diet to keep you healthy. And also we tend to then demonize other foods, don't we? So we think of certain other foods as being bad foods, or especially what crops up with a lot of people that I work with. So I work with people who have disordered eating, whether that's bulimia, whether that is deprivation or starvation after you've had a binge, whether that is emotional eating, or if you're a serial dieter who just literally is always going on and off a diet. And even that terminology, serial dieter, we're referring to people who yo-yo diet, aren't we? So I'm using that word even to be related to weight loss and a way of eating. But oftentimes we have certain foods that have been demonized, like carbohydrates. Specific carbohydrates are bad for you, whereas other foods are good for you. And yet, really, what we want to be looking at is how many of us really think of a diet as a way of nourishing our body, because nobody put the word nourish. Some people put the word health, and some people put lifestyle, and I like that. I'm guessing that both of those are related to somebody eating in a way that suits their body, and that's really what a diet should mean. the way that we eat on a daily basis that suits our body. And how do we know that that suits our body? Well, we should feel energized. Yeah, when we wake up in the morning, we should be ready to face the day and not ready to throw the duvet over our head or roll over and hit the snooze button. When we are going through our day, we should be able to stay focused on what we're doing for the length of time that it takes to complete the task, not consistently and continuously wanting to distract ourselves because our focus is all over the show. We should have good memory. If our diet is good, our cellular health is going to be good, which means our immune system is going to be working really, really well. So we shouldn't be always coming down with a cold or the next bug that's going around, kind of poignant at this time of the whole crisis that we're all in this pandemic. But our diet affects our immune system absolutely massively. And unfortunately, some people are talking about it, but not as many as I would like to hear, because we can do an awful lot when it comes to the food choices that we're making, as well as our lifestyle, as to how well our immune system is functioning and how well we can handle this virus if we do get it. There's so many people who have had it who don't even know they've had it. And then on the other hand, there's people who you think are really, really healthy people and are doing all the right things, and they seem to have got it badly. Now, yes, there's a genetic issue in that too, but also just because outwardly somebody's doing the right thing, if they're not eating the right kind of diet and they're not sleeping enough and they're not getting enough hydration and they're not doing the right type of exercise for their body, then they are going to unwittingly not have as healthy cells in their immune system. The reaction's not going to be as good as somebody who is doing things differently. Now, nobody's got a label on their head. We don't know which is which person, which kind of makes it even more important that we all think about looking at diet as a way of eating that provides our body with the nutrients or the nourishment that it needs to function really, really well. And that means that you don't have mood swings all over the place. That means that your weight is not up and down like a yo-yo. It means that you haven't got joint pains all of the time and you don't wake up with a new ache or a new pain or a headache. All of those are keys that there's something potentially off with your diet and your lifestyle. And do those two things go together? Massively, they do. Because how you feel, like if you're sleepy, if you're stressed, that is going to affect the food choices that you make. If you're feeling tired and you can't focus and you're looking for a distraction, the chances are that you're going to go for a food that will give you a mood lift as well as an energy lift. And those are usually the refined carbohydrate foods. Now, should you demonize refined carbohydrates? No, but really, they should be something that we have now and again as part of a really well-rounded diet, not on a daily basis if possible, just something that we have now and again as a treat. And we just see it as that, as part of something that we have when we feel like it, but not something that you are going to tell yourself off for or are going to feel guilty about. And this is where we get this kind of dilemma between failure and deprivation and how we associate diets, because it depends on what we've done in the past, doesn't it? All of the associations that we have right now, all of our belief systems that we have are either picked up from somebody else, parents, people in authority, or from our own experiences of doing something. And often we make up our minds when we've only done something once. And if we've not been very good at it, we turn around to ourselves and we say, well, I'm rubbish at that, can't do it. Right? I've noticed this tends to be more of a thing with females, I think because we have higher expectations of ourselves, and particularly so with the high achievers, with females in business, with entrepreneurs, with professionals. They have this perfectionist streak. And so if they can't do something really well the first time or the second time, then they're likely to kind of go, do you know what, that's not for me. Is that a good thing? Well, when it comes to business and stuff, it can be. Although oftentimes I always say 3 is the magic number. Give things a go 3 times. But then if you're still struggling with it, it kind of then steps into the realms of insanity, trying to do the same thing again and expecting a different result if you're going about it in the same way with the same mindset. And so mindset is crucial to how we think about diet. And this is where these things are intertwined, because if we're not eating foods that give us the nutrients that we need, then mentally we are not going to be in a great position to make really good choices. So our food, our diet, our daily intake of nutrients doesn't just determine how we feel physically, but it affects how we behave mentally and how we handle stress. So if you feel that you are not running in the way that you'd like to, that you haven't got the energy that you want, that you are getting headaches and you don't understand what's going on, that you're getting muscular aches and pains, not just caused by overdoing it on exercise or gardening, especially at this time of year, or anything like that, and you're just going, well, what is going on with me? One of the first things that I would suggest you look at is just look at what are the foods that I'm eating each day. If you're sticking to the same foods, and many people do, and you're not getting variety in your food, in your diet, daily diet, you are going to unwittingly, again, because if you don't know, you don't know, you are going to keep giving your body the same old nutrients, which means that you're going to have some kind of imbalance. Because if you keep giving it the same stuff and it doesn't need that stuff all of the time, but it needs some other stuff and it's not getting it, there's going to be a deficiency there. So you may be well fed, but actually nutrient deficient. And this is where keeping a food diary is, for a short period of time, is probably a really good idea, especially if you use one of the apps on your phone now that can actually tell you what are the nutrients that you're taking in. So rather than looking at what everybody looks at, the calorie count, and is low calorie better than high calorie, the answer is no. Your calories are going to be different every day, depending on how active physically you are, but also depending on how much you're using your brain, how much stress you're under, how good your body is at actually utilizing the calories from food. So many things affect whether your body needs a certain amount of calories. So I don't look at the calorie amount for my clients very much at all. But what I do look at is how much nutrients, how many different nutrients are they getting over a week. And this is something that you might want to have a go at looking at yourself, not to judge, not to berate yourself or tell yourself you shouldn't be eating that or you're having too much of this. Just get curious. Get curious about what nutrients are you giving your body, and then look at maybe making some changes if you feel that you are getting a lot of one thing and you're getting hardly anything of another. Maybe over the next few weeks, you can look at redressing that balance and start becoming a little bit detective. Maybe make food a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. And using the apps is really, really helpful because you can have a look at what nutrients are in what foods and see how you can up some of those nutrients that are a little bit low, and perhaps decrease by making swaps to some of those foods where your nutrients are not as high. And it's quite a fun way of varying your diet and not sticking to the same old, because food can get a bit boring, can't it? Let's be honest. And even if you know that the foods you're eating are good quality foods and you're enjoying them, we still all like change, which is why we should never demonize any foods, because if you're giving your body what it wants, as well as your brain what it says it wants now and again, it's going to help you overall to feel good. You're going to feel more in control of what you're eating, and you're going to feel happier in yourself. And ultimately, that's what food is all about. It's about pleasure. It's about feeling good, as well as about fueling your body and giving it the nutrients that it needs. So I'm going to leave you with the question: what do you associate with the word diet? I'd love to know. If you can comment below this video, please do. And if you would like to know about what I do with regards to helping people with disordered eating, whether again, that is whether you binge eat and then you try and make up for it afterwards, maybe with excessive exercise or with starving yourself the next day. Maybe you are bulimic, so you're throwing up after the food that you eat because that just makes you feel better. Maybe you're somebody who is forever on a diet, off a diet, on a diet, off a diet, and actually over time, you've put on more weight than you've lost, and you're just fed up with the whole yo-yo thing and want to be able to do things differently. If you're kind of nodding away at any of those things, I get it. I have been there and I can help you. I am an Eating Freely therapist and also a nutrition coach who can help you really get to grips with putting away that food disordered eating pattern that may now be a part of your daily life, and you just kind of wonder if you're ever going to get out of it, I can tell you you can. And if you want to know some more information or you want to reach out for a chat, please do go and visit my website. It is www.gofigurecoaching.com, and I am Vicky Midwood, and I would be delighted to chat with you and see how I can help you in any way. Have a lovely day, and thank you for listening.